Your kitchen might be the heart of your home, but does it really look like it belongs in a high-end magazine spread? Right now, you're probably standing in a space that works just fine. It's functional, it's familiar, but somewhere deep down, you've probably caught yourself thinking, something feels off. Maybe it's the cluttered counters, maybe it's the outdated hardware, or maybe it's just the dull overhead light that makes everything feel a little too sterile. Here's the truth. Most kitchens aren't designed to feel luxurious, but that doesn't mean they can't. And here's the good news. You don't need to gut the cabinets, knock down a wall, or remortgage your house to make your kitchen feel like $1,000,000. You don't even need to spend much at all. Today, we're unlocking a simple truth that interior designers and stagers have known for years. It's not about what you build. It's about what you change. Subtle, strategic upgrades that create the illusion of luxury are often the difference between a kitchen that looks fine and one that stops people in their tracks. We're talking about tricks that make your kitchen look cleaner, brighter, more intentional and, yes, more expensive. But here's the key. These aren't gimmicks. No cheap hacks, no DIY disasters. Every tip in this video is rooted in real design principles, smart behavioral psychology, and years of watching what actually makes people feel like they're in a premium space. Think of it this way. When you walk into a luxury hotel or a model home, you instantly feel calmer, more collected. The lighting is soft, the surfaces are clear, the materials look thoughtful. You don't see a jumble of appliances or mismatched dish towels or tangled cords dangling from outlets. Everything has a purpose. And guess what? That feeling doesn't come from a huge budget. It comes from small choices made consistently. So, if your kitchen has ever felt cluttered, flat, or underwhelming, this is your sign to finally fix it, and not with a sledgehammer. We're about to go through 10 high-impact upgrades that take zero construction, zero demolition, and zero renovation experience. These are things you can do today, literally today. By the time this video ends, you'll know exactly what to remove, what to rearrange, what to swap, and what to elevate. Some of these tips are so simple, so low cost, that you'll wonder why you didn't do them years ago. Others might take a little planning, but the payoff is huge, because nothing beats the feeling of walking into your kitchen and realizing it finally looks like the version you always pictured in your head. And the best part? You did it yourself. No contractors, no permits, no unexpected costs, just style, intention, and a little bit of insider knowledge. And listen, this isn't just about impressing guests or chasing a Pinterest fantasy. It's about creating a space that makes you feel good every single day. A space where cooking feels more enjoyable, cleaning feels less daunting, and mornings feel like they start with a sense of calm instead of chaos. Your environment sets your energy, and if your kitchen is the first place you walk into every morning, don't you want it to feel elevated? Don't you want it to match the energy of who you're becoming, not who you were when you first moved in? So before you start shopping for new cabinets or daydreaming about quartz counters, hold up. This is the smarter way to make a high-end transformation, and we're about to walk through it step by step. These are the secrets designers rarely share. These are the things staged homes and glossy magazine shoots always get right, and you can too. Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn is going to completely shift the way you see your kitchen. From a purely functional workspace to a polished, inviting space that finally reflects your style. Let's get into it. The first thing you need to understand is this. Your kitchen might be clean. It might even be recently updated, but if the wrong things are sitting on your countertops, you've already lost the illusion. This is one of the most common mistakes people make, and they don't even realize they're doing it. When you walk into a high-end kitchen, what don't you see? You don't see junk mail stacked next to the toaster. You don't see cords crisscrossing the backsplash. You don't see 10 different appliances crowding the corners, each one with a slightly different shade of plastic. You see space, breathing, room, a curated look that feels both lived in and intentional. That's not an accident. That's psychology. Clutter makes people anxious, even if it's organized. A luxury kitchen doesn't show off everything. It shows off what matters. So start by removing anything you don't use daily. Put it in a drawer, a cabinet, a storage bin, anything. You'll be amazed how much more expensive your kitchen suddenly feels when your eye isn't darting from blender to microwave to random spice rack. Instead, give yourself one or two intentional items to spotlight. A ceramic crock with wooden utensils, a marble board with a small bowl of sea salt and olive oil, a fresh herb plant in a neutral pot. That's all you need. Your counter isn't a garage sale table, it's part of the design. Now let's talk about lighting. This one's a game changer. If your kitchen still relies on a single overhead light fixture, especially one with a cold blue-toned bulb, you're missing one of the biggest visual upgrades available. Harsh overhead lighting is a dead giveaway that a kitchen was designed for utility, not atmosphere. But when you add layers under cabinet, puck lights, warm LED strips, even a small lamp tucked into a corner, you're creating depth, warmth, mood. That's what high-end kitchens do. They don't just illuminate, they highlight. And the best part, you can get pile and stick LED lights for under $30. Instant transformation. Go for a warm white tone, somewhere between 2700K and 3000K. It's flattering, cozy, and it makes every material in your kitchen from stone to wood to metal look better. Another often overlooked luxury killer. Your soap bottles? This might sound petty, but that bright neon dish soap sitting on your sink ledge with a crinkled label, it's pulling your whole look down. If you've ever stayed at a nice hotel or visited a design showroom, you've probably noticed something. They always use elegant refillable bottles. There's a reason. Uniformity feels expensive. So get a couple of glass or amber pump dispensers. They cost next to nothing. Fill one with your dish soap, one with hand soap. Set them on a small stone tray or cutting board next to the sink. Done. That one detail alone elevates your sink area by at least 80%. You didn't change your counters. You didn't install anything new. But suddenly the space feels deliberate, and it's the same principle with open shelving. If your kitchen has any shelves or glass front cabinets, don't treat them like overflow storage. Treat them like styling opportunities. You don't need to go out and buy all new dishware, but take a look at what's visible right now. Is it a mismatched collection of plastic tumblers, souvenir mugs, and old cereal boxes? Or is it a consistent, visually calming collection of dishes and containers? When everything is visible, it should look intentional. High-end kitchens don't showcase everything, they showcase the best of what you already have. Even if that's just your clean white dinnerware or a single carafe, make sure it's styled with a little breathing room, and your shelves will go from chaotic to classy overnight. These might seem like small changes, but they add up fast. Because luxury isn't about how much you spend, it's about how carefully you present what you already own. And when your counters are clear, your lighting is warm, and your everyday items are packaged like they belong in a spa or showroom, your kitchen starts to feel like something entirely new, something elevated, something worth showing off, and you did it without lifting a single power tool. Here's where things get fun. You've cleared the clutter, softened the lighting, and maybe even upgraded that dish soap bottle. Now it's time to pull off the kind of visual tricks that make your kitchen look like it was styled by a designer, even if your budget wouldn't cover their consultation fee. Because here's a little secret. Most high-end kitchens you see online, they're playing optical illusions. They're not necessarily more expensive. They're just more curated, more deliberate, and more willing to fake it with confidence. Let's start with the backsplash. If you've got bare, drywall, dated tiles, or a busy pattern you're not in love with, it's time to consider a peel and stick transformation. Yes, peel and stick. The new ones are nothing like the cheap decals from a decade ago. These days you can find stunning, textured, realistic backsplash options that replicate subway tile, marble, travertine, even reclaimed wood. They come in sheets, they're renter-friendly, and they take under an hour to install. If you plan it out, the trick is to stick with matte finishes. Shiny, glossy options often look fake up close. But a soft, matte subway tile pattern in a neutral tone, it instantly elevates the space and fools the eye into seeing a remodel. And best of all, when your friends ask who did your tile work, you get to just smile. Now think about your kitchen. Walls, most people leave them blank or throw up whatever random framed art they have lying around. But high-end kitchens use their wall space like living rooms do, with intention. One of the simplest upgrades you can make is to swap out anything generic for a framed photograph or print that actually fits the mood of the room. It could be a black and white photo of produce at a farmer's market, a line sketch of herbs, even a page from an old cookbook, torn out and framed. Hang it above your coffee station, next to your pantry, or near the entryway. Just one piece of art, carefully chosen and properly framed, can shift the tone of your entire kitchen from utility zone to curated space. While we're talking about intention, open containers might seem like a small detail, but they carry massive weight in design. Head into any luxury kitchen, and you'll notice one consistent thing. Packaging is gone. Instead of store-brand cereal boxes and mismatched jars, you'll see uniform containers: glass, ceramic, or matte plastic filled with flour, sugar, oats, or pasta. The kind of display you'd expect to see in a boutique cafe or a cooking show set. It's simple, it's minimal, and it creates a sense of order that subconsciously tells your brain, this space is well. So take a few of your most used dry goods, pour them into matching containers, and line them up on a shelf or inside a visible cabinet. It doesn't take long, and it instantly feels custom. Let's talk dishes. Even if you're not a minimalist, there's a good chance your current dinnerware situation is working against your design goals. Novelty mugs, souvenir shot glasses, chipped plates, these things have sentimental value, but visually, they create chaos, especially if you've got open shelving or glass-fronted cabinets. So here's the trick. Edit what's visible. You don't need to throw anything out. Just rotate. Display your cleanest, most neutral pieces: white plates, glass cups, wooden salad bowls, and move everything else out of sight. It's the same principle museums use with exhibits. You don't show every piece in the collection. You show the best, and you make it count. Now step back and think about how these pieces fit together. You've added a neutral, modern backsplash without renovating. You've brought in art that reflects your taste. You've styled your pantry like a set designer. You've refined what's on display. Nothing here costs more than a dinner out, and yet the total transformation is massive. And that's the goal. Because true design isn't about flashing wealth, it's about creating harmony. When every item looks like it belongs, your kitchen becomes more than just a workspace. It becomes a reflection of you. Calm, clean, elevated. Here's what most people don't realize. These illusions work because you put just a little more thought into them than the average person. That's it. You're not remodeling, you're not rebuilding. You're rearranging with purpose. And in the end, purpose is what separates expensive from cheap. That's how designers do it. And now, so can you. Now that your kitchen's looking clean, curated, and intentional, it's time to add the final touches, the ones that seal the deal. The details that most people overlook, but designers obsess over. Because this is where high-end really comes to life. Not in the layout, not in the materials, but in the atmosphere. The little signals that say, someone thought this through. Someone lives here with care. Let's start with something almost nobody talks about. Fabric. Specifically, what's on your windows? If you have a small kitchen window above the sink or in the breakfast nook, chances are you've got a basic roller blind or aluminum mini blind that came with the house. It's functional, sure, but it's also a dead giveaway that the space hasn't been touched in years. High-end kitchens use soft finishes to balance out the hard ones. So instead of a cold metal blind, try linen Roman shade in a neutral tone or a soft bamboo blind for texture. Even a simple sheer curtain mounted high can add visual height and movement. This small change doesn't just add privacy, it warms the room and adds dimension, making your kitchen feel less like a utility closet and more like an extension of your living space. Now take a moment to consider how you're using your open shelving if you have any. Too often, open shelves become dumping grounds for whatever doesn't fit elsewhere. But if you want them to feel elegant, you need to approach them the same way you would a styled bookcase. Limit what's on display. Leave space between items. Group similar materials, maybe a stack of white plates beside a glass vase with greenery, or a single cookbook facing outward beside a wood bowl with lemons. You don't need to fill the space. In fact, not filling it is what makes it feel high. Empty space is a design element, not a flaw. Next, let's talk about something more invisible: your kitchen's scent. You can't photograph it, you can't display it, but it might be the most powerful sensory tool in the room. High-end spaces have a signature smell. It's never overwhelming, but it's always pleasant. Think citrus, think clean herbs, think subtle vanilla or fresh linen. If your kitchen currently smells like last night's garlic stir-fry, it's time for a reset. Simmer lemon slices and rosemary on the stove for 10 minutes. Light a subtle candle near the coffee machine. Use a natural essential oil spray after cleaning the counters. It's simple, cheap, and it makes every other element you've upgraded feel that much more luxurious. And here's one final, often overlooked point: noise. High-end spaces feel peaceful. If your kitchen has a constant hum of mismatched appliances, clattering dishes, or a squeaky drawer that hasn't been oiled in years, you're leaking luxury. Take the time to fix the drawer. Replace that cheap electric kettle with one that's quiet and sleek. Use soft clothesliners in your drawers. These might sound minor, but the absence of annoying sound is something people immediately register whether they realize it or not. Think of your kitchen as a mood-setting machine. Every choice you make adds to or subtracts from that mood. The lamp you added on the counter? That's warmth. The clean soap dispensers? That's elegance. The uncluttered shelves and soft window treatment? That's calm. These are the things people remember, not the brand of your cabinets. Not whether your faucet is brushed, nickel or chrome, but the feeling they got when they stepped into your kitchen. Did it feel finished, thoughtful, elevated? Now it does. So step back, look around. You didn't renovate a single thing, but your kitchen is transformed. It smells better. It sounds better. It looks like it belongs in a design magazine, and it still feels like you. That's the power of intentional styling. You didn't need new cabinets. You needed new perspective. And now, after all these small but meaningful shifts, your kitchen is more than just a place to cook. It's a statement, a retreat, a room that lifts your mood and reflects your standards. All without tearing down a single wall. You've done it. You've created the high-end kitchen look without spending like you're building one from scratch. So enjoy it, live in it, and let it remind you that luxury is never about price tags. It's about purpose. And now, your kitchen finally has it.